Batwoman number 16, written by J.H. Williams III and W. Hayden Blackman, art by J.H. Williams III. So, last issue and the issue before are Batwoman coming into the battle-torn city and ready to fight. And she opens up this issue coming across Maggie, and she's like, oh, it's so good to see Maggie again. I literally can't hear anything but her beautiful voice. And Maggie's like, what are you doing? Get over there and help them. Why are you stopping over here to help us? Jesus Christ, Batwoman. And Batwoman's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. As she looks on, she sees all these monsters. She sees Medusa. She sees Killer Croc has turned into a literal Hydra. And she's like, all right, yeah, there's a lot going on here. And, it's also destroying my building, my home base, so better get on that. And Wonder Woman, we see her internal monologue is like, despite the fact this doesn't directly link to me, I kind of feel responsible. Like, I should be in there taking on the fight. And so Batwoman, she sees the Hydra attacking her building, her whole base, and she starts fighting her way towards it. Wonder Woman stops her, like, hey, literally, like, you cannot beat the Hydra. I know you're strong, I know you're smart, but, like, you can't do that. I might be able to, maybe. So you take care of the kids, and that'll be like the real end of it, and I'll just deal with the Hydra. And Batwoman's like, fine, I guess. So this jumps around a little bit. I'm just going to give you each plot on its own. We have Cameron Chase fighting in the middle against all the monsters and whatnot. She sees Medusa and Bones. Director Bones shows up. He's got a whole armor suit on, and he's wearing special glasses so he's not impacted by Medusa's gaze. And he comes to attack her, but then the hook-handed man shows up and knocks Bones out. Cameron Chase shows up, starts attacking the hook-handed man. It comes after her as well, but then before it can attack her, Firebird, Flamebird, one of the two, aka Bet, shows up. She's finally ready to fight again, and she's like, I am so terrified of fighting this man. Dear Lord, please let me win this fight. And she throws a few punches, and she's like, yeah, okay, I'm doing all right. Can't get ahead of myself. Really got to deal with this. And then the hook-handed man punches her in the stomach and just grabs her by the head, and he's just like, okay, I'm a kill you again. And she's like, oh God, please no. And I hope that this will work, as referencing some plan that we have yet to see. So then we get the other plot going on, I guess, which is the Medusa has made her way down to the docks where Morrow is, along with a bunch of the other monsters. And she has all the children, and she's planning on a blood sacrifice into the ocean to summon her mother, aka the mother of monsters, aka a goddess named Ceto. And she gives a whole backstory on Ceto of how she was goddess of the oceans, I believe. Yeah, goddess of the oceans. She gave birth to a bunch of different like creatures and monsters and stuff like that, which allowed the gods to do crazy things like see the future and stuff like that. Like, it allowed for a whole bunch of cool stuff to happen on Earth. But then the gods declared like, hey, mortals and monsters can't live together, so we're going to hunt the monsters. And then Ceto was basically put on trial, and instead of being killed, they banished her and said, like, you are now only known as the mother of monsters. Your cool ocean goddess thing is gone. So they're trying to summon her via the children's blood, which, once she arrives, she'll be hungry and devour the children whole. But right now, they're alive. So Batwoman fights her way through a bunch of the monsters that have been made by Morrow and Medusa. And as she's fighting her way through, she's not doing so hot. But then the believers of the crime religion, the religion of crime, the crime Bible, and led by Kyle Abbott, who I guess was in an earlier issue that I forgot about because he's a werewolf, they show up and start beating up all the other monsters. So that's a thing. Wonder Woman fights the Hydra. She apparently swings her sword so fast it superheats the metal and cauterizes the stumps. Yep. So anyway, Batwoman manages to make her way to the main fight. She gets over to where Medusa and Morrow are, beats back a couple of the things, and she realizes, like, hey, wait a minute, the kids are here. Oh my God, the kids are here. I can save the kids. And she looks over and she sees La Llorona nearby, and she's like, Maria, they stole these people's children. What if they were your children? And Maria's like, they were my children. I had my children. You stole my children, Morrow. And La Llorona seemingly just kills Morrow straight up and out. But Medusa steps in and she's like, "You're too late. We already put their blood in the ocean. They will be sacrificed. Here comes Sito, aka the Mother of Monsters," as we see this huge thing emerge from the ocean. So I believe finale next month. I liked it. I think I think that it's doing a good job of focusing primarily on Batwoman and Wonder Woman and saying, this is world's finest. It's the name of the arc. I do have a little bit of an issue with when it gets to the other characters in that it feels so fractured and so split that, like, the whole returning of Flamebird and Bet into the fight should have been this big triumphant moment, but it got one page. And it was cut short. And I know that in the finale we're probably going to get something more, but it just feels like every time that a different character shows up, they're barely given enough screen time for me to care at all. And I also want to point out a lot of this book is prose. A lot of this book is just writing, like not speech bubbles, not having to fit it into like them saying the thing. It's just, here's a paragraph. And it goes on and on and on. And it's not bad, but it is at the expense of pacing. It tells a good story, but the fight itself slows down. So it's a weird thing with pacing in this issue and how I don't think that it does quite as much as it should. Mainly because they had to stop the entire story to be like, here's the origin of the Mother of Monsters for 2 full pages with just blocks of text. So yeah, I mean, it's good, but I gotta give it like a 7. There is a few things wrong with it that I think when we get to the finale will probably be better, but there's a reason that they aren't just books. There's a reason that they're comic books. Stop making them books.